People of God, I want to say to you, these things that keep us away, these things causing us to say to God, I will have followed you, but this is drawing me away. I will have served you, but this is calling my attention. I will have followed you. I will have obeyed your word. I will have preached the gospel, but this is drawing my attention. I want to say to you, these things may look logical and legitimate to you, but the moment you have got an invitation from God, they cease to hold their importance in your life. They become less of your priority. And if you place them above an invitation that you have gotten from God, you will likely be at a friction with God. I believe that is not who you want to be. These things may look genuine and legitimate in our lives, but you know what the Bible calls faith? It's how much, the extent to which we are willing and able and actually letting go of things that we will have held so dear to ourselves in order to obey God, in order to please God. That is what God records on our account as faith unto you, as trusting God. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying. How much you're able to give away to trust God, to obey God, to stay committed and connected to God is the measure of your faith. And that is what is recorded in your account as faith unto you. Now, when you read the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, we see some men of old. The Bible listed their names. By faith, this person did this. By faith, this person did that. I'm going to just see a few of them. All right? If you read the passage carefully, you will see that there were specific things, there were specific moves that these men made against the odds, and God was meticulous to document, to put into record that detail about their lives, and it was accounted to them as faith. That is why we call them the men of faith. For example, the scripture says, by faith Noah, being divinely warned in Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 7 now. By faith Noah, being divinely warned of things not yet seen, moved with godly fear and prepared an ark. There has never been rain before in the history of mankind. At the time God said to Noah, arise, go build an ark. A rain is going to come, flood is going to come. That was why Noah did not make sense to anyone. He was preaching to in his generation, because everything he was saying did not make sense, did not add up. But Noah made a move despite the odds, and it was accounted to him as faith. In verse 8, by faith Abraham obeyed when he was called out to go to a place he will receive as inheritance, and he went out not knowing where he was going. A full-grown man carried his family, his wife, his belongings, his servants, set on a journey, and everybody was asking, where are we going? And he couldn't have an answer. Imagine how stupid Abraham will look to everyone in his household. But he obeyed, and the Bible accounted it to him as faith. All right, now look at Sarah in verse 11. By faith Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and she bore a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. You see this. These were things. If you read up to verse 39, you will see the records of this. You will see specific things that these men did against the odds, things that they would have given excuses for, like the men in that parable in Luke chapter 14. Things that they will have given excuses and excused themselves out of the plan of God for their generation. Yet, they moved against the odds. They obeyed God against the odds. They followed God against the odds, and it was accounted to them as faith. I want to ask you once again, what will you do against the odds to please God, to serve God, to stay committed, to stay connected to God, to obey God, that God will account to you as faith in your generation?